everyone. Welcome back. This is the S&M Sports Talk Show with your host, Rook, and my co-host,
Misty. Hey, everyone.
All right. We hope you guys have had a great week. Got more sports to talk about, obviously. Kind of a slow week, but, we're going to try to squeeze out as many of the stories from the past 7 days as we possibly can. Also, if you want to be on the show, please email us at snmsportstalk@gmail.com. Also go to www.snmsportstalk.com, and all of our links are there for whatever kind of platform you have to download the podcast. Share with your friends, whatever you got to do.
And Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Like us and subscribe if you would.
Yeah, awesome. All right. So this was kind of a slow week for sports. Obviously, we're missing football. Baseball is on the horizon. Basketball, there was a little bit of a layoff due to the All-Star game. Those games are back in the thick of things right now.
I'm sure something's happening in hockey. We just aren't maybe aware of what it is. I don't know. I'm not
hockey.
sure.
What is this hockey you speak
sport.
of?
Mm-hmm.
Our apologies to our hockey fan base. Yeah. So anyways, big news yesterday being Friday was Robert Kraft, owner of the New England Patriots, got into a little bit of trouble.
That's putting it mildly.
Yeah, that is pretty mild. He was found videotaped in Jupiter, Florida at a massage parlor.
You want me to give some details?
Yeah, please.
Okay, so Robert Kraft has been videotaped paying for, let's say, some lady of the night favors in the middle of the day. Yes. And not only in a massage parlor, but a strip mall massage parlor called Orchids of Asia. So the big deal here is that the police are saying that this was part of a sex trafficking operation. So it's not just these ladies are prostitutes and working in a quote unquote massage parlor, but they, from what I've heard, all of them were from China, and they are being held, supposedly or allegedly, being held at this massage parlor, forced to work every day of the year, no days off. They're not allowed to leave. So there was some sort of idea that there was human trafficking going on at this massage parlor. And then Robert Kraft was videotaped along with 50 or 60 other men, I think. So now what he's looking at, actually, it came out today, I think, for each, he's charged with 2 counts of solicitation of a sexual act or something. And each one of those counts can hold up to 60 days in jail, 6 months probation, and a $500 fine.
None of which he'll ever face.
Yeah. And I also heard today that he's expected to turn himself into police sometime soon. So.
Yeah, it's funny the luxury a billionaire gets, right?
They wouldn't wait for me or you to turn ourselves in.
No kidding. I would love to break a major law like that, and then say, oh, guys, let's let my lawyers kind of filter out the charges. Let me see.
Spend the weekend with my family.
Yeah, let me see what kind of fines we can levy, and then I'll turn myself in
if it's really necessary.
Monday doesn't work. I got to listen to the S&M Sports Talk Show on Mondays. So Tuesdays I'll turn myself in on Tuesday. But the funny thing is that when this story first broke out yesterday morning, being Friday morning, I thought, man, I've heard all these funny jokes. I made a few jokes myself, like them getting Robert Kraft getting the 7th ring being a sex ring, stuff of that nature. And yeah, they're funny. And for the folks that do know me, I've definitely got a sense of humor. Sometimes it's dark, sometimes it's not. But after reading some of the details about the whole issue,
it's a different level when you realize that it's like a trafficking sting operation. It's not, like I said, it's not just like a shady massage parlor.
If it's a lady or a fella downtown who is propositioning a vehicle, and whatever transaction is made,
sure,
fine, whatever. I honestly don't care. Okay, that's not my business, whatever. But when these workers are kind of being held, without any other option
Right.
when they're forced into this, like, they're like indentured sexual servants,
Yeah,
which is such
that's exactly the word that they were using.
an awful,
Sexual
it just,
servitude, it said.
yeah, it just puts an awful taste in your mouth.
Yeah.
There's really not a lot funny going on. So just, you know, the last show we had kind of a grim topic, or maybe the third
Yeah.
show. I didn't want to do that for this one, but
What the hell, NFL?
Yeah,
We're all doing us.
when we moved to Houston, we started watching the local news, obviously trying to get a lay of the land, and we learned about like sex trafficking here, and it's rampant in
big
Houston.
problem.
It's unfortunate, and obviously me being from Bangladesh and India and Pakistan, they have, sex trafficking over there. So it's just, it's really sad. It's kind of a weird world we live in. But I digress. Like this is just something that we have to kind of accept. So without discussing that part, because that could be a 2-hour long conversation on
Yeah.
ethics and morals, let's go with Robert Kraft. So
Yeah.
my question to you, Misty, is what in the hell was he thinking? You're a billionaire.
Okay.
You know why these billionaires buy or pay for high-end escorts? It's called the NDA,
Discretion.
non-disclosure agreement. You're paying for a $1,000 night that for a regular Joe would cost you $150. Why? For that NDA.
Right. Sure.
Meaning you can go to the cops, but you signed this little paper right here
Right.
saying you cannot use my name.
Right. So
This never happened.
yeah.
There was no exchange of finances. You have to explain. Well, not like
I cannot
Yeah.
explain.
Can you text Robert Kraft,
Right,
please?
sure.
But
As
what?
soon as he gets out, get out of
What
the
in the
clean.
hell was he thinking? Is this one of those things where like a billionaire is so bored?
You have to like slum it.
Yeah, like we
That-
excuse rock stars and rappers and movie actors and this, that, and all these celebrities. We excuse them like, oh, you normal people don't get it. They're millionaires. They have everything they want and they get
Right.
bored.
Sure.
Hence, they do heroin in the Viper Room in L.A.
Right. Or just a nonsensical thing, like completely.
Actually, they do, I think cocaine, not heroin.
Probably cocaine's
Which
probably
one's
easier to do in
snortable?
public.
Yeah, exactly. All right.
I think you can snort heroin too. I don't know.
It just goes to show you I am drug free.
Right. Yeah. But I have a couple of problems with this. Obviously, if we're just overlooking the trafficking part, if we're just putting that aside.
I want to kind of
for-
ignore that because
Yeah, we'll
that
just-
topic is sad.
It is, yeah. And we'll just put that aside because I'm going to go ahead and give Robert Kraft the benefit of the doubt and assume that he did not know that these women were being held in such deplorable condition. Like, I'm going to assume that he didn't know that they were being held there without days off and they weren't allowed to leave.
I'm
I'll give
totally
him
with
that
you.
part.
I'm with you on that 100%.
So we won't blame the trafficking part on him. So beyond that, I read that this place charges $79 an hour. And I'm not shitting on that. Like, I don't know, whatever, but if you're like you just said, if you're Robert Kraft, my first thing was I thought, why wouldn't you hire someone with a little more discretion and a little more like professionalism?
Oh, for sure.
If I could say that, like
My first
there
thought
are
was
women who cater to
right.
millionaires and billionaires and keeping their mouths shut. And it's not like he was just looking for a young girl. His girlfriend's 39 years old.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know
He is
what...
77? Is that correct?
77,
That's
yeah.
right.
So I don't know. I mean, I really can't figure this one out. Like you said, if you're a billionaire and you're just bored, and maybe this is what, how he gets his jollies, that's whatever. But it's just like it's in a strip mall.
Well, here-
it's not like an escort. This is not even a Pretty Woman situation where he like picked her up off the street.
Right.
This is a strip mall, and he was driven there by a chauffeur. Like a billionaire was driven in a nice car to a strip mall to receive $79 services. Like, it
So-
doesn't make sense.
So I guess one kind of question, or yeah, you're right. If this were a spontaneous thing, like let's say he was getting a massage and all of a sudden things progressed to whatever, blah, 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 I can kind of understand that. But then he went a second time.
Right. And it's on videotape too.
And yeah, exactly. In addition to another 199 people. And I believe the Jupiter Police Department or PD, actually, no, I'm sorry. This is a federal case, correct?
I've only seen Jupiter's police
Okay.
department talking
Yeah,
about it.
I don't wanna source or name who I heard it from because the facts are a little bit fresh right now, and obviously this is being reported for the past 24 hours. Um, they reported that Robert Kraft is not even the biggest name. That is a
Really? I didn't hear
customer
that.
or a client or a whatever the hell you call them. And look, just to be very clear, I really don't care about prostitution. Whatever.
With the caveat that the woman is doing it on her own accord, not
I
being
mean,
like forced to do it.
exactly. It's one of the
Yeah.
oldest professions in the world. Look, also another caveat. I am not pro prostitution.
Slippery slope here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm
Slippery slope.
I'm just saying that, I'm not one of these, super straight laced guys like, oh, no, you can't do that. No, I'm not saying that. I mean, the majority of us have been to Las Vegas and enjoyed our time there. And if we partake in all that fun, you can't just say, oh man, I love Vegas, except for X, Y, Z, A, B, C, 1, 2, 3.
Sure.
You go in there, that, there's like children pimping out these prostitute cards to the people walking the strip.
Do they still do that? I thought they tried to crack down on that.
No, we were just in Vegas in May.
Maybe I just didn't notice.
Yeah,
as much.
well, yeah. Walking with a toddler will kind of have you not notice a lot of things. But, prostitution, whatever. That's between the man and the guy.
The man and the guy.
Or sorry, the prostitute and the man, or whatever it is,
Right.
the situation is.
Yeah.
I really don't care about that. I'm not going to sit here and judge somebody else.
Sure.
If somebody were to put me in a microscope, I would not like, people seeing my stuff.
And I think we're both of the mindset that what consenting adults do in their own time is nobody's business,
Sure.
as long as both are consenting.
Sure. I don't understand why you would fall for that. Why would you fall for a strip mall, like you said?
Right. It doesn't make sense. In Jupiter, Florida, of all places.
Right.
Like,
Going a second time. I mean, it's like, you're a billionaire.
yeah.
You have them come to you.
Not just a billionaire. He's worth like $7 billion. He's
Oh, really?
like a multi-billionaire.
I thought it was in the fours.
No, I think I read 6.6.
Wait, is he richer than Jerry Jones?
I have no idea. Maybe.
All right, I gotta look that up.
Okay. But regardless, I mean, and here's the thing too, like, is he, maybe, I don't know if maybe nobody knew what he was doing, but surely he has an assistant and people like around him. Nobody said, hey, Mr. Kraft, like, maybe the strip mall is not the best place. You want me to find another service for you?
You
Like,
gotta.
did nobody know what he was doing? I don't know, except
you gotta
the
have
police officers.
You gotta have that one friend.
Right.
You gotta have that friend who.
Especially if you have so much money that
Yeah.
your brain doesn't work properly.
Oh, Robert Kraft is a bum compared to Jerry.
Oh, really? 6.6 though, right? I
He-
read that.
yeah,
Or maybe the
Robert
team
Kraft-
is worth
No,
6.6.
hell no.
I don't
Cowboys
know.
are worth more than the Patriots. So Robert Kraft is worth 6.6 billion, and Jerry Jones is 6.9 billion.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, dude, that 300 million. That's a lot.
Total different.
That's a lot of schkarol.
Yeah, but anyway, I'm really interested to see how this plays out because immediately his legal team came out and said he admits no wrongdoing. He did not break the law. But the police department is very clear that they have him on videotape paying for these acts. So
this is what I
there's
don't-
no misunderstanding here.
This is what I don't understand. You're on video. There's a philosophy that I used to live by on certain aspects of my life. Deny until you die. Right?
We can discuss that later.
Yeah, we'll discuss that off
okay.
mic. But there's a certain point where you have to say, dang, I just got caught.
Yes. When you've got, that's all there is to it.
I am waiting for the athlete or celebrity or musician or actor or, whatever, poet, I don't care. I'm waiting for them to be like, on the very first knock, just be like,
You got me.
shit. Okay, I did it. I'm sorry. Here's the child pornography on my laptop, or let me hand over my stuff because I am so guilty.
I know this is like a super random thing, but it just popped into my head. I feel like when Hugh Grant got busted with those prostitutes in the
boy.
90s, I think he pretty immediately said like, okay, you're right. You got me. You got me. whatever.
I don't even know how to look that up on Google.
I'm not going to Google it. But,
Yeah.
I mean, if a listener wants to Google it, that's fine. But I remember him being pretty forthcoming about, like, yeah.
And he was married to
right.
Elizabeth Hurley.
Yeah.
That's just, that... So back to Robert
Anyway,
Kraft.
yeah.
So yeah, as far as suspensions levied and fines, all this stuff, one thing I did hear from Sports Center, which is actually pretty credible, is the owners are held to a higher suspension and fining than the average player.
But when you have $6.6 billion, what kind of fine can they impose on you that makes a difference?
I was talking about more of the suspension. For instance, Jim Irsay got caught with drugs and had a pretty heavy suspension and fines
Yeah, it
levied.
was 6 games and $500,000 fine.
Right.
But why does that matter? If the owner is suspended from, who cares? He's still making money.
Yeah, but he
Like,
can't.
you can't take a game check from him. You can't punish the
Right.
team somehow.
If I'm not mistaken, he can't partake in any of the business operations. And
he has a whole
understand-
team
I
of
know.
people to do business operations.
I
Like,
know.
I don't see any way that he can be punished that will actually be a punishment. From
Right,
the
but-
NFL, I mean.
Yeah, but in this country, if you're a billionaire, you got to do something off the wall in order to get jail time. And I'm not talking about like.
But
and-
wouldn't that be something if the Jupiter PD really did throw him in there for 60 days
Yeah,
or
but
whatever?
even if he was in jail, look, Martha Stewart, guilty of insider trading. What did she get? Minimum security resort.
She went to prison, though, still.
It was minimum. Come on, that's not prison. I hate
Okay.
the fact that the word prison is all encompassing for the minimum security, as well as the maximum, like
Oh, yeah.
like an Office Space, like federal pound me in the ass prison. Like it just completely baffles my mind because minimum security, we've seen those things like, they're all like hanging out in the yard, sitting around. They have like tables and gazebos and canopies and all that stuff. Like I've seen minimums.
Yeah, it's so easy to sit in your, like, kitchen table and say, oh, minimum security prison's nothing. It's still prison. You don't know.
I'm just saying.
You don't know.
Okay, if I stole $495,000 from insider trading,
Oh, we would never see you again.
Yeah, would I be at like
No.
the resort prison?
Absolutely not.
Yeah, exactly.
No.
So, anyways.
Anyway, so we're interested to see how this
The
plays out.
crux
I
of this
think.
conversation is that it's not fair that I am not a billionaire.
Oh, that is the whole culmination of this.
Pretty much.
So, yeah. Yeah, so I don't know. We'll see how this plays out. I think it'll be a while before we even find out anything
will,
or
and-
before they punish him somehow.
I find it funny that usually when an owner makes a mistake, all the other owners have an opinion, whether it's in defense of this owner or it's an antagonistic view. I find it really kind of weird that I haven't heard a single owner say nothing.
It's because of the sex trafficking part.
Yeah,
I think
that's
if
true.
he just got caught with a prostitute, then people would probably be talking about it. But that's very touchy right now.
Right.
I read, I didn't realize this, but I read that like 4 laws or 4 bills in the last month have been signed to try to stop like human trafficking and sex
Right.
trafficking. So it's very touchy. So I think that they can't come out in defense of him
Sure.
because then they're also somehow defending trafficking.
Right.
So
So
I think it's a touchy subject for everyone.
I can't sit here and right now judge him like a lowlife because, like you said.
Oh, I'm judging him.
No, I know. We'll give the benefit of the doubt because he may
Oh, okay,
most
sure.
likely have not known it was a sex trafficking
Right.
ring.
I really hope not.
I'm hoping it's just a average run-of-the-mill prostitution thing because at that point, then I don't really care. Whatever, dude. You're rich. You have your needs. I will say one thing though. He just goes to prove that he's a cheater on multiple accounts. Okay. Yeah, that's the last joke about that one. Anyways,
Right.
next
Anyway,
topic.
should
I'm
we
done
move
with
on?
this. I got to
Yes.
take a cold shower after that topic. It's just all very oogie.
Yeah, it is oogie. So next thing's up. What about Manny Machado signing with the Padres for I think
10 years, $500 million.
Chump change. Now, okay, I will go ahead and show my ignorance here. Can you explain to me how these baseball contracts work? Does he legit get $30 million every year, or is some of that upfront, some of it is bonuses, some of it is like filtered in
Yeah,
at
so
some point?
in baseball, in football, contracts are backloaded.
Right.
Right.
Sure.
So we'll give you a signing bonus, and then we'll
if
give you
you
this.
stick, right, sure.
But you're like the whole salary cap thing is kind of dumped towards the back end.
Right.
And then they cut you.
And every year there's like bonuses for doing other stuff, right?
And they can
Meeting
even
requirements,
they can
whatever.
even convert some of your salary into a signing bonus and just give you cash.
Right.
Baseball operates on guaranteed contracts. However, one thing that we don't know 100% is all the specifics of the actual contract, but I have it pulled up right here. So it's showing 10 years, 300 million. Fine, we know that. So no, it is legit a 10-year contract. Every year he will receive a base salary of 10 mil, or sorry, for the first year, 10 million, a 4 million signing bonus, and there's a payroll salary, so blah, 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 30 million. He'll receive 30 million every year, and he has an opt-out, or the team has an opt-out possibility after 2023. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full seasons. So half the contract is 100% guaranteed.
Wow.
And the Padres have the ability to cut him, trade him, whatever. And yeah, I mean this is insane. It's showing 2029. Obviously, 10 years from now, he'll be an undrafted. He'll be an unrestricted free agent. And one other thing to note here, he has a 6-team no trade clause. I would be super interested to know which 6 teams. Because it'd be one thing if it was a no trade clause, like we know in basketball, there's a lot of players that have a no trade clause.
Sure.
And I only mentioned basketball because I'm way more familiar with basketball than baseball. But I'd be interested to, Manny's like, yo, this is not a city I like to live in. I don't.
That's interesting. I did not know that.
Yeah, I can't find that information anywhere.
I can't believe that these baseball players sign 10-year contracts. Like, that seems crazy to me.
Yeah, but it's less wear and tear on your body.
Well, absolutely, of course, sure. But still, like, 10 years is a long time. How do you know how it's going to work out? What if you just don't like being on the team? What if you don't get along with the manager? Or what if...
Well, you know what?
Anything could happen.
Yeah, but these players, they fight and fight and fight to either get traded or get what they want. I mean, it's the same thing as kind of like throwing a temper tantrum, until you get what you want.
Right.
But here's the funny thing, like, we can kind of relay this to other sports. We talk about holdouts. Obviously, Le'Veon Bell was the biggest one in the past full year.
You always mention him. You always have to bring him up.
Well, it's just it's relevant for this particular discussion. But my stance has changed on this dramatically. And the reason being is because, we always want the players to play. And we always say things like, you signed a contract, you have to honor your contract. You have to be a man and honor your contract. Well, you know what? I would believe that way, or I would buy into that 100% if it was a two-way street. But it's not, because these teams can cut you for no reason whatsoever. They can cut you because... hey, that rookie that we got is phenomenal, and I don't need your services anymore. Like
they can cut you to make space for someone else? Mm-hmm.
There's no loyalty. There's no loyalty in sports. And the funny thing about, and I don't know how girls feel, but I know the majority of guys, when we talk about sports, we kind of regress to, like, being children. I remember when I was a kid, Emmitt Smith signed with the Cardinals last season, and it broke my heart. There were rumors about Troy Aikman wanting to leave for his last year, and I got emotional without crying, by the way. But I got super emotional.
Like mad?
Yeah.
Emotional?
Well, I mean, no, like super sad, like teary. I'll say what every guy says when they start crying. No, man, I'm like teary. Like, it's just allergies. Like, I got like a dust fleck in my eyeball.
Something in my eye.
But we turn into kids. Even in your 30s and 40s and 50s, we're like, oh no, he's loyal. I love him. This guy's not. I don't like him.
Right.
Like we still idolize these guys, and it's just funny like that. But the more you think about it, if the team has zero loyalty to the player, then I'm all for holding out and getting your money. Like I mean, that'd be stupid. Could you imagine if, like, we were under a microscope at our jobs, just as people, like, oh, you signed a contract to work for this company, blah, 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 but then,
So you have to, no matter what.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That'd be ridiculous.
I don't know. Maybe I would feel different about it if I hadn't drafted Le'Veon Bell.
Oh, Lord.
Well, I hate to bring it up, but I'm serious. Like,
that fantasy season's been over since Christmas.
Let's face it, my fantasy season was over long before Christmas.
Oh, yeah. So anyway, Manny Machado, huge contract. Bryce Harper is soon to follow.
Do you think that Bryce Harper will go to the Padres also? I heard that, but I don't see how. I don't think they can't afford that. Right?
I think that would be no.
Surely.
They can, actually, I think somebody worked out the numbers on Sirius XM radio. I think they can.
Like technically, maybe, but is that a smart move?
Could you imagine
I don't know.
Two players, $10 million, $300 million a year, $300 million for the life of the contract.
No.
Could you imagine, even if they have opt-outs for 5 years, we're talking about 5 years and $150 million per.
I can't imagine that much money anyway, much less like two big contracts.
$60 million per year for two players, and you have to fill out your entire
on a
roster.
Whole team. Yeah. And baseball rosters are pretty big compared to like some other sports.
But then again, they also don't have any salary caps. Like that's a wonderful thing about baseball.
Well, this is why the Yankees always have like all these high-paid players.
And this is why the Rangers made a dumb move in signing A-Rod at $250 million.
Are we done paying that off yet?
Yeah, I think so. Just a couple years ago.
He's retired now, isn't he?
That doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah? Really?
Yeah. I actually
that must be nice.
I have an interesting story. But we're going to move on to the next topic, and I'm going to come back to it.
Oh, okay.
Because I have to look it up, because I want to make 100% sure I got the details right.
All right. Just before we end this, do you have any thoughts, like, if Bryce Harper doesn't end up going to the Padres, do you have any idea where he'll land? What do you think?
Billy, I think on our very first episode, maybe the second episode, Billy mentioned, and he didn't let me forget, he actually called Machado to the Padres, and he called Bryce Harper to the Phillies.
Oh, that's right.
And the funniest thing in the world is, I think the Phillies flew out to Bryce Harper today or yesterday
to
have a sit-down lunch or brunch or whatever these bigwigs do.
Billy.
Yeah. The guy knows baseball. I will say that much.
Yeah. We need to get him back on here as baseball starts. He clearly is more knowledgeable than we are.
Yeah, baseball is just around the corner. They had some spring training games going on.
I saw the Astros were playing on TV earlier. I don't know if it was like an...
I could not sit down to watch, though.
Oh, God, no.
I could not yet.
But I saw it anyway, nonetheless. All right, so baseball. We'll keep talking about that as that updates, I guess. Last thing I want to ask you about is Zion Williamson. What do you think about this knee situation?
I mean, he has two of them.
That is true.
Yeah. One is better than the other right now.
Everything good God gave you two of, right? Is that what you tell me?
No.
Yes, that's why God gave you two. You always say that. Oh, Shrook, I poked myself in the eye. Well, that's why God gave you two.
Oh, yeah. But no, not everything good God gave you two of.
So he got injured during the UNC Duke game.
Yes.
And
Which okay. So, you brought this up now. Now I gotta go. Okay, before we get into Zion Williamson, I just looked up 100% the story I was gonna say about baseball.
Oh, okay.
And because I knew I had the name right, but I forgot which team it was.
Uh-huh.
Do you know that the Mets still pay Bobby Bonilla $1.19 million every July?
Because of the way his contract was written?
Yeah. And let's see here.
He's been retired since...
he is going to be paid until the year 2035.
Wow.
I mean...
Is that just is that good agenting? Whoever his agent is needs to have more business, it sounds like.
But do you know what the funny thing is, though? Is that the people that invested in this contract actually worked with the infamous investor Bernie Madoff.
Oh.
Is that not funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, so he's going to be paid until 2035. How old is he? Does it say there?
Let's
or
see
how
here.
old will he be in 2035 when he stops being paid? This sounds like a publisher's clearinghouse situation. Like he won some prize.
You may have already
paid.
won. He is 56 years right now.
56 now. So he'll be like 70.
Yep.
Right? Is my math good on that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
Like 70 years old when he stops being paid for
16 more years.
playing baseball.
Yeah.
That just seems like poor planning on good planning on his part, and
Well,
very poor planning on someone else.
62, but still.
62. Oh, okay.
Yeah. That's insane to me.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So back to Zion Williamson.
Yeah, so he got injured during the UNC Duke game.
Because his shoe blew out. That looks really bad on Nike.
Way to go, Nike.
No, I love that. I love that after the game, Paul George, because Zion Williamson was wearing the Paul George Nikes.
Oh, uh-huh.
Paul George was like, oh, I'm going to investigate and see why his shoe blew out. Like, dude,
He did not.
I swear to God.
Lord.
Dude, it happens. All right, the most expensive, Ferrari, Bugatti, whatever.
Yeah.
There's gonna be some screw that's loose, or man, you know what? It just rattles.
Can you really blame it on the shoes? Like, it's basketball. You're gonna hurt your knees.
I think that
Have I not seen it?
Yeah,
Like, close
you haven't
enough?
seen it yet.
Okay.
The shoe, it just popped. He had a blowout. It was just
Oh.
nuts. Yeah. So, anyways, so he's injured, and now the topic lately is that, he should continue to play, or he should rest for the remainder of the season and potentially only play March Madness because he is a bona fide, draftee. Like, he's going to be drafted easily. So my opinion on it is shut it down. Well, like, why in the hell would you play for Duke? He is now known in all basketball circles. He's going to play in the NBA next year. The NCAA
The teams have already seen what they need to see, right, to draft him. So
the NCAA has a stupid one and done rule where you only have to play 1 year of college and then you can be drafted if you're good enough. So why play? They're not paying you, so why play? And that can get you into whole other topics. And I am very pro paying NCAA players.
that could go on for the rest of the day, that conversation.
It's such bullshit that everybody benefits except for the kids that are actually being sweating out there.
If they do benefit, then everything is ripped away from them.
Yeah,
Right,
of
like
course.
if they're found out that they benefited, like Reggie Bush with his
Yep.
Heisman,
Yep.
and insert numerous other players here.
I mean, like think about it. Let's just say you're this kid, right? You grew up in the slums. Basketball is your way out. You're an awesome player. You're a 5-star recruit. You go to a school like Duke, UNC, Gonzaga, Villanova, whatever the case may be. You play well for that 1 year, right? You're going to be in a top 10 pick for the NBA. You blow your knee out.
You're screwed.
All that work you
That's all it
did,
takes.
the 2-a-days, the running in the cold, the running in the heat.
Yep.
All that work, skipping classes just so you can, get some sleep to work out.
Yep.
All that was for naught.
Yeah. Well, I think that the argument here is that he should keep, the flip side of your argument is that he should keep playing because he agreed to play, right? Like, he should play out his year or his season. Do you know what I mean? Like, he already agreed to play. I know you don't agree,
I
but
disagree.
I'm just saying I think that
I know what
maybe
you
the
mean, but I
argument-
completely 100% disagree.
But yeah, if it has to do, but the people making that argument are the people who were making up to $10,000 a ticket on that UNC Duke game.
Yeah,
You
but
know what I mean?
that's
Those
ridiculous.
no, I know it's ridiculous, but those are the people making that argument, right? Like, I'd be curious to know, what does Krzyzewski think? Like, not what is he saying to people, but what does he really think in his, like, heart of hearts? Does he need Zion Williamson to keep playing, or does he really think he should shut it down? You know what I mean?
He definitely.
Like, I wonder.
In order to win in the Final Four, a national championship, he definitely needs Zion.
No, I
But-
know he needs him. I'm saying, like, not from a coach perspective, just as like a guy who's close to basketball. I
Yeah.
wonder what he really thinks. Like, I don't know. I would be tempted to just protect myself, obviously, for my future career.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
we're talking about millions of dollars you
Yep.
could miss out on. And what if he comes back before it's completely healed?
Right.
And then it gets hurt worse, or it just
It
completely
happens all the
Yeah.
time. People are rushed because I think NCAA sports is so stupid. They're so hypocritical. NCAA
Yeah.
football is a multi-billion-dollar industry.
No, of course.
They make so much money off of putting these kids on advertisements,
Yeah.
their team logos, their names, their jerseys being sold, all this crap.
Tickets to the games.
Yeah, and they don't get shit. They get a scholarship. Hey, that's awesome. I would have, believe me, when you look at my student loan statements, I would have
Right.
loved a scholarship.
And that education, if they actually get it, is something that no knee injury can rip away from you.
Sure,
so
sure.
that is something.
But is it so bad to pay them? I mean, they work, they have to go to school, fine. They also have to work way harder. I'm not talking about like a ping pong player, by the way. I'm talking about a major sport where you have to dedicate mornings and evenings and afternoons
Right.
and nights and travel on buses and sleep at shitty motels. Would it kill you physically?
Well, and there are other requirements too, like you were saying.
You physically can't work.
Oh, right.
Hey,
'Cause you're so
I had a
busy.
job all through college. So through college, I had a lot of fun. I had a cool car, able to go eat out anytime I wanted to. I always had like a little bit of money here and there to spend and goof off. I bought CDs because that's back when we went to college.
You had that thing on the visor.
Yes,
Full of them.
yes.
Yeah, I remember.
But like, you have to, if their schedule allowed them to work, I totally get it. Fine, don't pay them. It's kind of a douchebag move, but don't pay them. Fine. But you're essentially telling them, hey, your schedule is so rigid that you cannot work, and we're not going to pay you.
Right.
And enjoy your enjoy your 1 year of college or 3 years if another sport, or if you're not like a 5-star recruit, enjoy your 4 years, 3 years, whatever. It doesn't make sense to me.
Well,
Just
this has been
I'm not saying pay them $500,000 a year, $200,000.
No, that's ridiculous.
Pay them something.
Right.
Give them like a
Like a stipend
is
for them to live off
Is
of.
24 grand a year too much?
It seems reasonable to me.
$2,000 a month.
Yeah, I don't think they should be paid an like exorbitant amount of money.
Right.
But they should be compensated in some way, for sure. Because, like, it's not just workouts. It's not just. There's a lot of other things that they have to partake in, right?
Sure.
Even in college sports, there's like media days. There's extra stuff you have to do at the school, right? I'm sure there are like pep rallies. I don't know. I haven't been in college in
Yeah.
a long time. There are like pep rallies
sure.
and other things they have to do. I don't know. You know, these professional teams, they go to like the children's hospitals or they do different activities. And I think that some of these big college teams do the same thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
Like similar, like community service activities and stuff. So yeah, sure, they should be compensated. But
Especially think about not just how much money everybody else is making, but think about how much of the local community, their economy, how much are they stimulating?
oh,
It's
we are right
insane.
here by College Station, Texas. Without
Right.
A&M, College Station wouldn't be anything.
Yeah, no
Nobody
kidding.
would know where the hell it's
Right.
a nothing town without A&M.
Yeah, even
And many college towns are like that.
right. And I've been posed this question before. Well, okay, so how far can you take it? What about high school sports? And I think it's kind of the same thing, although to a way lesser degree.
High school players don't put in near the time, though.
Exactly. So I'm thinking to a lesser degree.
And their
Because-
educational requirements are not as stringent
Right.
either. It's not as hard to take high school classes and do sports as it is to do college classes.
Man, I miss PE. That was the best. You know,
I
like,
do not miss PE. I have
where-
to be honest.
hey guys, like your requirement for today is like wear these drab ass gray shorts.
Ugh.
You know, try to climb the rope. If you can't climb the rope, Sharuk, then just walk laps.
Oh, I could never climb the rope either. Twinsies.
This is not a thing. We're not.
Oh.
Yeah, we're not doing that. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah.
We had to wear purple shorts and white t-shirts. It was really ugly.
We
with
had-
our names on them.
Yeah. Oh, jeez.
Yes, we had to have our names put on them.
Good lord.
Awful.
No, we had gray t-shirts and gray shorts.
That sounds much better.
I want to say mine were Old Navy.
Old Navy. Really?
I don't know.
I don't know. We did, because I was in like the lame PE class, we did get to do cool things, like we played disc golf sometimes. Or
I'm
we
sorry,
would
you say
play,
cool
like-
things?
I mean, no, not cool. I hated PE, but we got to do at least something different.
You know what? You just
We
reminded
did
me
like
of.
Taibo once. We did like a 6-week session of Taibo. It was kind of fun.
You know what you reminded me of right now?
What?
What you just said.
What?
You reminded me of that girl Michelle from American Pie. She's like, like this one time in band camp, we did something hilarious. We played all of our instruments backwards. Like, that's exactly what you just sounded like right there.
Okay, so anyway.
And nobody does Taibo anymore. Is that Billy Blanks, by the way?
Yes. Okay, I'm talking about 1999, my friend.
Do you know
I haven't been in
on
high school in
Shark-
a long time.
On Shark Tank, Billy Blanks' junior Billy Blanks Jr.'s kid. Like, they're estranged.
Yeah.
That's a sad story. Man, this ended on a sad note.
I know, right? But Tybo's fun still. Anyway, so Zion Williamson. So,
hey, listeners, if you want to pay, this is a premium service to see Misty do a Tybo. We will find a Tybo VHS. And
I'm sure you can YouTube it.
We'll find a No, we're gonna do this. If we're gonna do this, we're gonna do this right. So we're gonna find a VCR.
Oh my God.
Video cassette.
I know where I can find
recorder?
a VCR.
Is that what the R stands for?
I
Yeah,
think
it's gotta
so.
be.
Yeah.
And we're gonna get a VHS tape. Video.
If anyone has a Tybo tape they want to send.
Exactly. And we're gonna we're gonna order. I'm sure. Look, there's a Traders Village flea market in Houston somewhere. I'm sure we can go find Billy Blanks' Tybo.
Yeah, I say this with love. I think your mom has a VCR in her house.
Yeah, my mom still.
Sure
my mom still has a combo TV with a VCR.
That's what
It's a
I'm talking
19
about.
incher.
That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I don't know if it works, but we can find out. And I have a headband and some leg warmers and the whole nine.
True.
I'm down. I could do it.
That's funny.
Anyway, so we digress.
Right.
So do you think that he should shut it down then?
Yeah, why not? I mean get yourself right. Look, March is just around the corner. If you want to play in the tournament,
that's what I was going to say.
And win a national championship,
do you play
that's
for the
awesome.
national championship?
But you don't need to play these scrub teams. Who cares about your seeding? I mean, you're one of the top 4 best teams in the country right now. So if you get a worse seeding, who cares?
But do you risk it even to play in the tournament? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's a pride thing.
Okay. So,
like when people talk about Carmelo Anthony, he's never won a he's never won an NBA Finals, probably never will. But he won a championship with Syracuse.
So at least you always have that.
At least you always have that.
Well, yeah, I don't know. We'll see what he does too. We'll find out pretty soon, I guess.
Yep.
It's right around the corner.
It is right around the corner, and you know what? That's going to be super, super exciting. Did I tell you that the
Probably
very
not.
first time I ever did a bracket, and that was in 2012, I won?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We should have it, because this is going to come as a major surprise. I know nothing about college basketball. Nothing. Whenever I pick a bracket, I always pick, like, which team name I like the best.
Okay.
Which, like, I don't know. I pick totally ridiculous ways. So we should see if some of the listeners want to do like a bracket challenge.
Speaking of Syracuse and their national championship, so they won in 2003. 2003, that's when Carmelo Anthony won. Yeah, anyways. So the coach back then was Jim Boeheim. Unfortunately, he was involved in a fatal crash this weekend.
Just a few days ago. I saw that. He hit a pedestrian.
Yeah. It's pretty sad. And like
he's super remorseful. It wasn't like he was driving drunk and just hit somebody's situation, right? It was just a bad
and I think
circumstance.
I think the family of the slain were a little uneasy about him going right back to coaching. But I believe I read this morning that Boeheim said that that Syracuse said that they're going to make maybe like a tribute to that gentleman.
Yeah, that's sad.
And obviously, I think the family's coming to the game, and it's sad. He's a young man. He was in his 50s. That's a young man right there.
And not every accident like this. There's just some, terrible somebody's at fault situation. Like sometimes it's just a crap circumstance. You're driving down the road and you don't see some. I'm not saying that it's okay. I'm just saying
it's
wrong
happened.
Place, wrong time.
Yeah.
Like it just happens. It sucks. It's really sad.
Think about it in your life. How many close encounters you've had?
Oh God, do you remember years ago? That man was in a motorcycle accident and he was laying in the middle of the road.
Right.
And you
said this is in Fort Worth, Texas.
Yeah. And I was driving.
Right.
We were driving home from work. And you were like, oh my God, stop. And I stopped I'm not even kidding you, maybe 12 feet from that man.
Yep.
And he was just laying in the middle of the street.
Yeah.
It was terrifying. So, I mean, I could have God forbid, I could have very easily run over him.
Yeah, for sure.
So
he was a motorcyclist wearing all black leather, and it was probably 9 to 10 p.m. It was dark.
It was kind of a dark road.
Yeah.
I'm sure he wasn't thinking about laying in the middle of the street when he got dressed for the evening.
Kidding,
but
kidding.
And I think he had like a broken leg or something. And
he had a broken face.
Oh, I don't remember. I don't remember.
So
I think I stayed in the car. Anyway,
let's try to put a positive spin on these negative stories.
Yeah. So start paying the players, NCAA.
Yeah. And, you know,
we're rallying for that. Oh,
I actually did play ping pong at UNT. Or sorry, table tennis.
On a team?
It's not professional, it's collegiate.
Okay, collegiate ping pong?
At the rec center.
Did you really?
Yeah.
How did I not know that?
Because I didn't really play, like...
Oh, that's how you played, like you played football?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wonder if, like, retroactively I can get, like, you know...
$50 paycheck or something?
Oh my God. Hey,
anything helps. Anything
counts.
Yeah,
anything counts.
Yeah. So let's do that. Let's set up some kind of bracket challenge. I saw the other day that the odds of picking a bracket, like all the way through, they're astronomical.
This is why Warren Buffett,
like,
you know, has offered in the past. I'm not sure he's going to do this year.
No, I think it's a standing offer.
Okay, so if you do a perfect bracket,
you get $1 billion.
A B.
Yeah.
Nobody's saying a million.
Nope.
I don't have a cold. It's $1 billion.
But the odds of doing that are like, if you look at them on a piece of paper, they're like 3 inches long. The digits.
Yeah, but
it's
odds
like
are odds.
Gazillions of gazillions. It's impossible. It is approaching impossible.
Yeah, but somebody look. There's a reason why we play the lottery. Now I don't regularly play, but.
Somebody's got to be the one.
Yeah.
Okay, but I'm telling you, the odds of picking a perfect bracket, it's never going to happen.
That's not true.
It's not.
No, never say never.
It's not going to happen.
Look, whenever you hear the person that wins that massive lottery, it's always the same story. Oh man, I never play, but I was so hard on my luck and this and that and blah blah blah.
Right.
It's always like the person who says,
sure.
"Oh, I don't regularly play the lottery."
Right. But I don't think you're understanding the odds of picking the perfect NCAA like March Madness bracket are like the odds of winning the lottery 3 years in a row or something, or 5 years in a row. I mean, it's astronomical.
I got this spam email.
Here we go.
Last year.
If it was a Nigerian prince, you should probably just delete it.
How did you know?
Yeah, you should delete that.
I was wondering why there's not, all this money in my account. Anyways, I got this spam email, and it was like, testimonials from lottery winners. And I think it was probably 4 o'clock in the morning. I was so tired. I was like, let me just read this and entertain myself.
Lord.
This guy, and I'm being dead serious. This guy has won the lottery 6 times. Now, these aren't huge lottery things.
Right.
But some of them are 500 grand.
Mm-hmm.
One was probably like 1.2 mil.
Are we talking about like scratch off lottery or like the actual
like numbers
draw the
and
numbers
stuff.
lottery?
Yeah.
Oh.
And so like he was explaining like a technique to do it. Like this is like
there is no technique.
It's like a fiber. I know. I'm just saying it was a spam email, and at 4 o'clock in the morning when you're exhausted, yeah. I really thought, like, oh shit, I can devote 4 years. I can devote 4 years of my time.
I just pictured you as Zach Galifianakis in The Hangover when he's coming down the escalator with like the numbers surrounding him, Rain Man style.
You know what's
That's
funny,
what I
though?
just saw when I was looking at you.
When you hear about all these workplaces that buy $250 tickets, whatever, you never really hear about them winning.
No.
Oh.
Because the odds aren't that good. They all chip in for like one ticket.
I'm not going to mention a name, but a former boss of mine won one time, remember?
Yeah, but like nothing.
No.
It wasn't a lot of money.
It was
Was it?
Yeah, it was a good amount of money.
Oh. Well, good for you.
Hey, if anybody won the lottery, email us at snmsportstalk@gmail.com.
We'd love to pick your brain.
I may not be Nigerian, but I am a prince, and I've got an opportunity for you.
Lord. All right. So anyway, I think we're pretty much done here with this topic. So we'll set up some kind of March Madness fun thing as we go on.
Oh, you know what we should do?
What?
We're gonna go through the bracket and it's gonna take a quick second. When we actually finalize our brackets. Mm-hmm. We're just going to rattle them off, and we'll take some pics and put them on the email. We'll take some pics and put them on the Facebook page or the website, and we will see who gets closer.
Okay.
Hey, you know what? We'll actually invite some people. I'm sure we can have some friends of ours pick some brackets, and
yeah, of course.
Whoever
wants to join.
Whoever's the most wrongest. Most wrongest?
Most wrong?
No, I'm going to go with most wrongest.
Whoever gets the least correct.
All right. Whoever's the most wrongest, I will make fun of you for at least 40 seconds.
Relentlessly.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. So you guys stick around. We've got a little more show for you and a new game that we're going to play that Sharuk has come up with called 5-Word Filibuster. So stick around. That should be interesting.
All right. We'll be right back.
right, everyone. Thanks for coming back with us. So, since it's been kind of a slow sports week, we've decided that we want to play a game. And
would you like to play a game?
So we were discussing not too long ago about how sometimes when one of us is passionate about a topic, we end up sort of in a filibuster feeling type situation where we just go on and on and on.
I have been told that I'm a bit wordy, especially when it comes to sports or
things that you're passionate about.
The millennial generation, Twitter,
right?
Facebook posts.
Many things. So
Instagramming food.
Yeah. So Sharuk decided, what if we could break down our filibuster style opinions in only 5 words? So hence the new game, 5-word filibuster. So here's how it works. We are each going to throw out some topics that we may have strong opinions about and try to package our opinions in 5 words. So are you ready?
I am ready. There's one thing though. After the 5 words, you'll get one sentence. Because honestly, you can't really describe everything in 5. I can't describe anything in 5 words.
So 5 words plus a sentence is still impressive.
You can ask me how a chimichanga tastes, and I can't say it tastes good. I have to go into in depth on what I love about it. I can't even describe the game in 5 words. I'm still talking right now. Anyways, so
we need a theme song for this game, by the way.
The 5-word filibuster, yeah. No.
Oh. Okay, no.
We'll
work on that.
Yeah, so there'll be like one sentence after the 5 words to kind of just...
If necessary. It may not even be necessary, depending on the 5 words.
All right.
So do you want to do your topic? We'll go back and forth. So do you want to start or do you want me to start?
We're going to go old school. We're going to go ladies first.
Okay. So... and some of the topics, guys, are going to require a little bit of explanation, so that doesn't count toward the words.
Sure.
So this week, Sharuk, I don't know if you saw, but Trevor Bauer, the pitcher for the Cleveland Indians, tweeted his 3 rules for dating. I am not going to go into all the details of the rules. I will just break it down and
give us a gist.
The gist is, he said...
I'm assuming you're not a fan of these rules?
I'm not.
Okay.
So the rules were no feelings, and if you get feelings, I'm out. The second rule was no social media. You don't post on social media about me or our relationship.
I can understand that one.
Sure. And the third one was, basically he said, I'm going to sleep with other people, and if you're not okay with it, then you're not going to be one of those people. So basically no monogamy. That's what he said. Okay. So you go ahead with your 5 words, and then I'll go with mine.
My 5 words are swipe left on this mofo. I actually don't need a sentence for that. I mean, I guess what I can say is at least he's honest and at least he's upfront. He's not going to be the one caught with a picture on whatever, Instagram or whatever social media. So at least he's honest. But, if you have...
Didn't you say you get one sentence?
No.
Here you are still talking.
All
okay.
Right, your turn.
So my 5 words are, what does his mother think? Not because of... Hold on. I am not going to blame her for this, but I'm just saying, if I had a son and he was posting on social media, look, ladies, I'm going to be sleeping with other people, and if you're not okay with that, take a hike. I mean, these rules are just oogie and gross. Yeah. So I wonder what his mother thinks. Yeah. Anyway, all right, your turn.
I guess God bless the woman that looks at those rules and be like, oh, yeah, I could.
This is my guy.
Exactly. It was reported. Now he doesn't take a lot of selfies and all this stuff, but it was reported Le'Veon Bell has gained a lot of weight. Like a lot of weight. Like, he's a big boy now. Misty, you want to go with your 5 words?
My 5 words are not nice.
Okay, go ahead.
I hope he tears ligaments.
That's really not nice.
I have made no secret of it that I'm a little bit angry at Le'Veon Bell.
Wow. Well,
and my real 5 words were, I hope he's really slow.
Well, that's so much better.
Much nicer,
you look
right?
so much nicer.
But really, in my heart of hearts, I hope he tears ligaments.
Wow. That's brutal.
With his fat self.
Now, as the nice guy, I'll go with fat boys can ball too, which is evidenced by C.J. Anderson from the Rams.
That's so true.
Tearing apart my Cowboys. I remember watching that game, and I was so mad at our defensive performance, but I kept saying, like, what happened to C... He literally got off the couch. Like, what happened to C.J. Anderson? He has a gut.
But he played.
Yep.
For real, for real. All right, so my next topic, we already covered this, but I made this list before we decided we were going to cover this so in depth. So Robert Kraft and his prostitute situation.
You go first because mine is not fantastic.
All right, my 5 words are sometimes pay for the upgrade. So as we discussed earlier, sometimes you should pay a little more for discretion.
That could actually translate to everything in life. You know, if you buy the house brand, you don't expect, the name brand quality.
Sure.
I buy everything house brand, and then I constantly complain like, God, Anyways, my 5 words are gross skin on Kraft cheese.
Oh. Wow.
I know he has nothing to do with the Kraft Food Corporation.
God bless the Kraft Food Corporation.
However, I hope I just planted that disgusting picture in your head. You know when you're heating up nacho cheese, like Kraft cheese or whatever, and it has that gross skin on top?
Oh my God.
I don't know why I'm still describing it.
I don't know why either. Go ahead. Go on your next one.
Next topic.
Yeah, next one, please.
Let's go with James Harden. He had a rough game against the Lakers. Lost, I believe, a 19-point lead and ended up losing. Now, there were some referee discrepancies. Scott Foster is a referee that historically has called against the Rockets. And, James Harden called him out and said the referees suck. They're terrible. Scott Foster should not be officiating in our games. He's fined, obviously, subsequently. My 5 words for James Harden are, your beard doesn't fool me. And what I mean by that is you're the most... I used to think it was LeBron James, but no. You are the most protected NBA player I have ever seen. There are nights where he'll get you 32 points, but he'll shoot like 8 out of 28, and the rest are free throws.
Yeah.
The guy, I think right now, and I didn't look at today's stats, or yesterday's stats, I think he has 81 more free throw attempts than any other player. Really? That's insane.
81? That's ridiculous.
I need one more sentence. Can I get one more sentence?
One more sentence, sure.
It's actually one more paragraph.
Yeah,
I think it's really awful that he goes he goes with the intention of trying to get a call as opposed to trying to dunk on somebody or trying to make a layup.
Yes.
It's so frustrating. He just whips his head back, and that beard goes flying. And when everybody sees the beard juice go flying, they call the foul. Hence, your beard does not fool me.
All right, my 5 words.
Sorry, your beard doesn't fool me. So contractions are one word.
Yeah, all right. My 5 words for James Harden. Please cry me a river.
Oh, cry me a river.
Exactly. And you just stole all of my thunder.
Ooh, sorry.
No, that's okay. I was just thinking, cry me a river, because your flopping almost always works. And just because it didn't work during one game and one ref doesn't fall for your BS doesn't mean that he's a bad ref.
Sure.
So cry me a river.
All right. I like that.
All right. So my next one, it's my turn, right?
Yeah.
My next one is the debate of instituting a pitch clock in baseball. So I was reading this week that there's actually already technically, I believe, a 12-second pitch rule in the rule book of Major League Baseball, that the pitcher has 12 seconds to release the ball. But I guess this is something they're trying to actually enforce now. So I also found out this week that in a regular season MLB game, there's on average 18 minutes, 18, 1-8, out of 3+ hours of action. 18 minutes of action, that means 2.5+ hours of just standing around. So
there are so many jokes I can make right now.
Yeah.
But I'm not gonna.
So my 5 words for this, it's like watching paint dry. Like, no wonder baseball is so boring. I did not, and I like baseball sometimes, but no wonder it seems so boring if there's less than 20 minutes of action during a game.
I agree with you. Baseball has a reputation of being boring. I do really enjoy it, though. I love that I get the Texas Rangers games, and I love I love to get to watch the Astros games as well. There's no doubt attending a game is a blast, but watching it on TV, unless it's like the 7th, 8th, and 9th inning,
it's like watching paint dry.
it's very difficult. And also
Yeah.
maybe like the first couple innings, if like your favorite pitcher is pitching.
Or if there's some kind of rivalry.
Sure.
That can be interesting, I guess.
So my 5 words for that one is most efficient game for me. So what does that mean?
You don't have to pay attention to the whole thing.
Exactly. I put it on the TV in the living room, and I work out stuff for school. I work out.
Fold the laundry. You can do lots of things during a baseball game.
Okay, so actually, if you don't know anything about our marriage, I'm not allowed to fold laundry.
Because you spent the first year of our marriage folding it wrong on purpose. I'm convinced you folded it wrong on purpose. So I would just say, forget it. Let me do it.
Fellas, that's what we call a life hack.
That's the long con is what that is.
If your wife wants you to do something, you just do it so
wrong.
ass backwards. You do it like a toddler would do it, and
ridiculous.
They'll never ask you to do it again.
So
true.
Anyways, I've been solo folding laundry for how many years now? Almost 9.
Almost 9. So I'll put the baseball game on the TV. I'll clean the living room, get some work done, send out some emails, check out sports stuff. I mean, I'm literally watching sports while I'm watching sports. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the most efficient game for me because one thing that Misty will tell you is that when I watch football, I watch it intent.
Yeah.
And I yell, and I have to watch every play.
No nothing.
When I watch basketball, I watch it pretty intently. I got to watch every play and know the stats and all that stuff. When it comes to baseball, I don't really have to watch it as intently, so it's a very efficient game for me.
Well, I'm sorry. I know we're already breaking the rules of our own game, but I'm just curious your thoughts. Do you think a pitch clock would speed up the game that much? Like, do you think it would make it that more exciting because it would be a quicker pace?
No, I'm going to harken back to our first or second episode when I said you can't have it both ways. Or sorry, you got to have one or the other. Either you want full automation, which is, robot umpires and pitch clocks and this and that, or you kind of keep the sport a little bit more pure.
But they've already tried to speed it up by limiting the trips to the mound.
Yeah,
like they limited how long you can spend there.
I heard they shaved off a little bit of the game, but I mean, some of these rules are so stupid now. It's.
But after learning the stat that there's less than 20 minutes of action in a baseball game, now I'm viewing all of these things that they're trying to do to speed it up. Just like, who cares? What difference is that going to make? There's still, unless you can condense the game to half an hour, it's not going to make a difference.
Okay, but those are also metric nerds. 18 minutes of real action on average in a baseball game. Dude,
no, I'm not saying that that's not okay.
Sure, but there's also a lot of tension. There's also a lot of outsmarting, like if the pitcher calls a pitch and the batter steps out of the batter box to get in the pitcher's head.
Sure, of course.
And then the batter gets back in and ready to hit. Now the pitcher steps off the mound.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if there's 18 minutes of action and 2.5 hours of standing around, what difference does it make if there's 18 minutes of action and 2 hours of standing? Like, it really doesn't make that big of a difference, is what I'm saying.
Right, but it's like a boxing match, right? Like when you saw a Pacquiao and Mayweather fight, and they were just dancing around. It was a defensive, masterpiece. Blah blah blah.
It was the Super Bowl of boxing.
It was the biggest waste of money, and I can't believe I actually contributed and bought that stupid match. But you can't make rules, or I guess you can't really make the rule. I mean, you can't change the rules. I mean, to put a 12-second pitch clock.
But this is what I'm saying. Look it up. I think it already is in the rule book. They just don't abide by it.
Well, baseball is the king of having unwritten rules. By the way, this is way more than one sentence.
I know. Sorry. All right. Sorry. Next topic.
Next topic. Okay, let's go with Antonio Brown.
All right.
He met with Art Rooney II, and they discussed that, right now is probably a good way to mutually part ways. It's time. The marriage was good for a while. All good things come to an end. So it most likely will be that Antonio Brown will be traded in the offseason. My 5 words, well, this one's not really funny. This is just 5 words. It's Steelers have a culture issue.
No, obviously.
And the reason why I'm saying that is because I believe the GM of the Steelers stated that Ben Roethlisberger is the head of the team, and he can criticize anybody he wants to, including coaching and management. And he is, I don't. This is not a direct quote, but he has 52 other children around him. Now, that could probably be taken as he's the only one left on the Super Bowl winning team, and the children being that they're just inexperienced or younger. But come on, you're gonna call a 25-year-old man, who is running routes or being a running back or a linebacker. You're gonna say children? I mean, come on, man. You're just causing so many problems. It's a shitty organization. A terrible locker room. Yeah. Mike Tomlin, as much as of a good coach he's like I said this in a previous episode, he's an awful leader of men. Yeah. He's lost the team. The whole team's in disarray. It's really. But you know what? Out of all this is a shining light, and that's Juju Smith-Schuster. I love that kid. I love that kid.
Oh, Juju.
If you haven't read about him, please do some research. He's such a cool dude. And he's a baller, which is probably why the Steelers are like, yeah, we don't need Antonio Brown anymore.
Well, James Conner, too, right?
Yeah, he's got weird hair, though.
Well, who cares about his hair? Okay, I'm going to comment on what you said because my 5 words about Antonio Brown are going in a different direction. So another problem, too, just with their culture, Ben Roethlisberger literally blames everyone but himself for everything.
I know.
So, I don't know. Mike Tomlin not making Ben Roethlisberger take responsibility for his might be part of the problem too. I would be tired of being blamed too if I was on that team.
He literally said after a game, I think against the Jaguar, or I can't remember who it was against. He said Antonio Brown should have ran a flatter route, and I should have thrown it to Juju.
Yeah, I should have thrown it to. Or I wish I could have thrown it to Juju.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You know
who
Ben Roethlisberger is? He is that friend that we've all had at one point in our lives, who makes awful decisions and blames it on everybody but his own brain.
Everyone. Yeah.
Ridiculous. Yeah. Now I'm mad.
So my 5 words about Antonio Brown are who wants all this drama, and look, in light of what we're saying, I don't
Hard Knocks. No, I'm just kidding.
I don't blame him for wanting to leave. If I'm getting blamed for not running a flat enough route or whatever, I totally get it. My issue with his drama is, why are you taking this to Instagram? Why are you taking it to... He's going to be on that LeBron James show, The Shop, that barbershop show. Like, why are you talking to everybody about this? Just keep your head down, get a new job, and be done with it. Like, what team... And he's still young enough and good enough that I think lots of teams will want to take him. But who wants to deal with this drama? I don't know. He's very diva.
It's so funny the way you said get a new job, like... Hey man,
get a job, you bum.
Yeah, you just got fired from. You're about to get fired from Best Buy. Go work at Fry's Electronics.
I'm saying if you're unhappy with your situation, fix it. Fine, but who wants all this drama of like making the Instagram videos and going on shows and doing all this BS? Like, just keep your head down and do your job. Anyway.
All right. So
I think we both have this one on our list. Shrook, how do you feel about LeBron James making a Space Jam 2? You want me to do my 5 words first?
Oh, no. Mine is going to be very quick. My 5 words are, I want to be like Mike. Okay. And here's the thing. Michael Jordan made a cartoon movie, Space Jam. I mean, it was great when it came out. There's no need to remake it. There's no need to add LeBron James to it. So what are you going to do? Try to win their hearts over? Because now there's more technology, more CGI, more stuff you could do, more production value than you could back in the 90s. It's lame all over. I mean, it's like, could you imagine if they had, insert not very manly actor playing Scarface? Like if they did a redo of Scarface right now. Mm-hmm. And I understand Scarface is a remake anyways. But I'm just saying, like...
Are you saying LeBron James is not as manly as Michael Jordan?
Didn't say that. I'm just saying there's some things that don't need to be remade. There's a rumor a while ago that Zac Efron or somebody like that, was supposed to play Tony Montana in a new remake of Scarface.
Really?
Something I have to look it up.
Maybe I do remember.
But I think that was just nothing but rumor, and but it really got me incensed because there's some things you don't change.
Agreed.
I mean, look at didn't they remake Ben-Hur?
Yes,
And I believe it was a complete flop.
Complete
Why do they
flop.
do this? Why are they making Space Jam 2?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I actually have two 5 words, but
Ooh, girl, that's 10 words.
so my 5 words regarding LeBron James isn't he a little old? Shouldn't he have done this like some years ago when he was like young and very successful and like winning championships and stuff? Isn't it just like kind of a sad thing to do now?
Well, they could CGI the hairline. I mean,
Yeah. Right, like he doesn't draw that shit in anyways. And then my other
I think it's funny that I make the hairline jokes when I can't even grow. I've got
but
what I like
you've
to call.
accepted it. He's clearly in denial.
Yeah, I've got what I call spriggets.
Oh, the spriggans.
Yeah.
Yeah. But my other 5 words is there anything new now? Like they're remaking everything. There's like a new reboot of Full House. There's like so many shows. They redid was it Hawaii Five-O or Miami Vice or
Yeah, they've done all.
like
They also redid
Dallas? They came out with a new
yeah,
Dallas.
They redid
came out with a new-
Ghostbusters. Well, what I like about the remake or the redo of Dallas is that it was actually the next
like
generation.
a continuation. But
Yeah, so
still,
that-
are there any original ideas anymore?
Hey, a funny thing about Misty and myself, we were like, hey, because I used to watch Dallas when I was a kid, excuse me, and I wanted to rewatch it and get back in the story.
So
I didn't realize it's like
much.
18 seasons.
Oh my god, it's so much show.
So on our
Someday
list,
we
yeah,
will.
on our list is Mad Men, which I think is 9 seasons, and that's doable.
9's still a lot.
But then we have ER, which is like 14 or 15 seasons.
But they're not all good, right? You can stop ER before the 15th season, I think. Right? Or no?
Yeah,
I never watched ER.
I think
know.
I stopped watching at the 9th season or 10th.
So much.
So, the ER's on there, Dallas is on there, and there was another show. Oh, well, we're slowly working our way through The Office. I saw the first 3 seasons, but there's still so much more to go. I love The Office, by the way. Hilarious.
But yeah, all they're doing is just remaking new.
Yes, and that is
remaking
really
old
boring
shows.
for me.
So annoying.
So how do you like your boy to continue with LeBron James saying, obviously after the trade deadline,
Oh.
they couldn't get Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
And now
They can get Antonio Brown.
they're-
He's available. He's fine.
they're 3 games back of the 8th seed for the playoffs. And LeBron James says, well, I got to activate playoff LeBron now.
So ridiculous.
It sucks for me because earlier than I would like to do it, but I got to do it.
Can I please do my 5 words first?
Please, by all means.
What mode was he before?
Oh, nice.
I mean, really, you're activating? Is it 0 Dark 30 or what does he call it? 0 Dark 23?
0 Dark 23. God.
mean-
Is there any originality anymore with these with these people? I swear to God.
I mean, sure. Can we? Sorry. Do your 5 words and then I want to ask you a question.
Oh, my 5 words are Magic. Get me All-Stars. Couldn't get Anthony Davis. I tried trading away my whole
Whole team.
damn team. And now
Not the whole team. Just half. Just half the team.
Yeah, and I couldn't get an All-Star. And this is how I feel. I feel like that's a message to Magic Johnson. Like, I'm going to publicly pout until I get what I want because it didn't work out this time. You couldn't get me the players I wanted. The player, excuse me, I wanted. You couldn't deliver it to me.
So
I'm
now I
LeBron
have to do it
James. I
myself?
came to your city. I came to your team. I demand All-Stars. This is so lame. And you know what? I got to be honest. This is a slap in the face of his teammates.
Yes.
He's essentially saying, today after the game, they lost today.
Yeah.
I only saw the quote, so I didn't even read the whole article. But he said that, what did he say?
He said they seem afraid to be uncomfortable.
Yeah, talking
or
about
something
referring to his
to
teammates.
that effect.
I'm like, so essentially, you're telling your teammates, I'm the king, the chosen one. I gotta drag your sorry asses in the
I'm gonna
playoffs.
carry all you idiots on my back. Even though I just tried to get rid of all of you, now he's expecting them to just forget all about it and carry on.
It's just lame sauce.
Can we just address how ridiculous it is for a grown man of LeBron James' age and stature to say he's activating
Yeah.
any kind of mode
Right.
in his life? Like, when he goes home at night, is he like, all right, I'm activating dad mode now?
Oh my God, that's my thing now.
I mean, ridiculous. So ridiculous. Deactivating dad mode, I'm going to bed. Like,
That's funny.
so stupid. Anyway, so it'll be interesting. They're not going to make it, right?
They could. There's 20 some odd games.
They could, but they're
no,
not.
well,
Not
listen.
gonna.
There's 20 some odd games. Look, I've seen it. I've seen it happen before. But I will tell you, I want to make 2 points. One, on the Lakers, Kyle Kuzma is a dog. The guy is fun. He's got ice water in his veins. I love this kid. I thought he should have been drafted well ahead of Lonzo Ball. The guy can shoot threes. He's a decent ball handler, and he's not afraid of anybody. Number one. Number two, there's a team standing in the Lakers' way, and that is the Sacramento Kings. And I can't believe I'm saying it. They look good. And Buddy Hield actually, he stated that he would bet his house that the Sacramento Kings will make the playoffs, which, he's not really going to bet his house. However, they look good.
Right.
An interesting statistic is that they've lost to the Golden State Warriors 4 times this year. The Sacramento Kings have. However, the combined loss was only 12 points on all 4 games.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So, and I think one of them they lost by 1 point. So yeah, so they lost 4 games, a total of 12 points to the Golden State Warriors, who, if they want to, they can decimate teams. I mean, Sacramento is a very easy bet if you bet online, Bovada, 5 dimes, whatever you do. Sacramento, it's very easy. They usually if they're like plus points, oh man, I bet them every single time, like no fear.
And the Lakers have a really hard schedule to finish out the season.
Yeah,
right.
I think it's like 4th hardest or 6th hardest, something like that.
Even if they somehow make it to the 8th seed, I don't think they're not going far.
They're not. Well, no, if they get to the 8th seed, they're going to get blown out by Golden State. They're going to get swept.
Yeah.
I am not holding
you
my.
think they can make it higher than the 8th seed?
Yeah, they could.
Fine.
They could.
Sure. I'm not asking you statistics there, metric nerd. I'm asking, what do you think's going to happen?
Well, they're not mathematically eliminated. I am hoping for a playoffs without LeBron James. I'm hoping for it just because
that's possible.
It is
entirely feasible.
I don't want to just be, a LeBron hater. I'm also hoping that the Warriors don't make it to the finals also. I would love 2 fresh teams.
Well, I don't know if that's going to happen.
It could. I would love to see I don't want OKC there.
Milwaukee's doing really well this year.
From the East, I would take the Bucks for sure. You know what? Oh man, I would love to see the Bucks and Kings. It won't happen. It will not happen. But the Bucks and Kings, that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah. But if it isn't going to happen, well, we'll see. All right.
Anything
else?
No, that does wrap up our 5-word filibuster.
We clearly busted through all of the rules that we set.
Yeah.
But
rules are made to be broken.
Yeah, this was a good way to cover some topics. And
we're not Trevor Bauer.
So.
We don't have rules.
Honestly.
Yeah. So, anytime we have a guest on, we'll probably play this or some kind of iteration of this and try to figure it out. But yeah, this was a slow sports news week.
Yeah. Maybe, hopefully, we'll have more exciting stuff to talk about next week.
Oh, we will. There's plenty coming up.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
NASCAR happened.
Yeah, the Daytona 500. We could have talked about that.
Yes.
Maybe next time.
They all turned left.
For a long time.
Yep.
Yeah.
You know what I've always wondered?
What?
So, we've taken some long drives in our history. Going to Chicago, back to Fort Worth, those long 16 and a half, 17-hour trips. That's 1,000 miles right there. So going 500 miles, it doesn't sound like much. But do you know they lose like 6, 8, 7 pounds.
From sweating?
It's so crazy.
So gross.
It's so nuts. But yeah.
These are the kind of obscure facts you get here on S&M Sports Talk.
Well, you remember back in the day, I was really into NASCAR.
Were you really into it? I don't know if you were really into it.
I was into Dale Jr.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
That's true.
And Jimmy Johnson. I really like Jimmy Johnson.
Yeah.
And Jeff Gordon's wife. Yeah, I'm just kidding.
She's very pretty.
Yeah. No, but NASCAR, motorsports, It's one of the things I fell in love with it really quickly, and I fell out of love with it really quickly. It got, I don't know, it got once
they changed the way they do the championship too,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
The
They try to
points
have
and
their
all
like
that.
playoff
Yeah.
thing. Like once they had like the Kevin Harvicks,
Oh God, Joe Logano.
oh my God, Joe Logano, and
Don't even get him
the
started,
Bush
please.
brothers, like, and what Brad Keselowski, I believe, like,
Yeah.
you know, it's a different generation. Like,
All sports do this. It
yeah,
always happens.
it's like these paper gangsters, you know, like they say all this stuff on Twitter or their Instagram, you know, and they like wait for their crew, like they crew up and then they like throw like a quick punch or whatever and get separated. It's like a basketball fight, you know. If you like one thing you'll know when you talk about sports, when you talk about, you know, how hardcore somebody is, basketball fights are hilarious.
Because
You
they
know,
wait.
they'll buck up, buck up, buck up
Right.
as soon as their boys are ever around them, and then they throw the you know the shove to the chest or the quick
Not
fist.
all of them. There's one guy. What do they call him? Debo.
Oh
Who-
my
what,
God.
What?
Zebo?
Yeah.
Zach Randolph?
Yeah, he doesn't wait for anybody, right?
No, dude, okay. Zach Randolph, I would be so scared to be on his bad side.
Well,
So Boogie Cousins. All right, Boogie Cousins kind of, back in the day was kind of a bully, right? And it was Boogie versus Zach Randolph.
Mm-hmm.
And Boogie was getting mad because Zach Randolph was, you know, not really bullying him, but just playing hardball, right?
yeah.
And like Zach Randolph was talking shit. Like they're setting up for free throws, and Zach Randolph was talking shit about Boogie Cousins, the ref, in front of Boogie. Zach Randolph was saying things like, "Oh no, yeah, he's hood until he comes to my hood," and like Boogie didn't say anything. Like he actually looked a little bit scared, and it's on YouTube somewhere.
And he's kind of a tough guy, right?
Oh, yeah.
Boogie Cousins?
Yeah.
I always thought of him as like kind of a tough.
Yeah, but yeah, you don't mess with Zach Randolph. Like dude will put the hurt on you.
But that's definitely not the norm in basketball.
No,
For sure.
no, because you have your like Russell Westbrooks and Kevin Durant is all of like 35 pounds and he tries to act so
Soaking wet.
hardcore. Yeah, he's the skinniest guy I've seen.
He's so lanky. You know what?
Have you seen his legs?
That's what I was just gonna say. We're just off down a hill somewhere now. I
Are we
don't
still
know where.
recording?
Yeah, I think we are.
Are we still doing the podcast?
How do some of these basketball players? How do they play with just their little stick legs? I'm not making fun.
Right.
of stick legs, but I'm just saying you would think in a sport where you run even short spurts that
Right.
you'd build up some kind of leg muscle.
Yep.
Like it is incredible how tiny some of their legs are. They're like little birds.
Yeah, it's just weird. That probably marks like the first time that I've publicly commented.
On another man's legs.
Yeah. It's different.
First time for everything.
I feel empowered.
Yes.
I'm very
yeah.
comfortable in my skin.
Yeah.
So anyways, we're going to go ahead and wrap up because pretty much when I start talking about legs
It's time to go.
and not sports, it's probably time to get out here.
Yes. Yeah.
So yeah, kind of a shorter episode. Not a whole lot of sports to talk about. Next week, we'll have plenty to talk about. If
Hopefully.
not, we will make some stuff up to talk about.
If there's something you want us to talk about that you think of, shoot us an email at snmsportstalk@gmail.com. Don't forget to like us on Facebook, Instagram, and or Twitter. Subscribe to the podcast on Podbean, iTunes, Google Play,
It's all of them.
all of them, whatever. Oh, check out the website. They're all in there, right? snmsportstalk.com.
Yeah, and actually, I think we're going to be on YouTube. I don't really know how that works yet
We'll figure it out.
because we're not taking video.
I don't know.
Oh my gosh, should we take video?
We should not sit here in my pajamas. I don't think so.
Oh, look, I'm wearing my Dallas Cowboys. I'm still holding on to the football season.
Yes.
Come
you
on,
are.
Jason Garrett, call the right play, bro. Should we do video?
No. Ugh. Do you know how much house cleaning I would have to do if we did video?
Do you know how
We have a
annoying it is
toddler.
to watch like Colin Cowherd or like Mike and Mike in the morning, Mike and Golick, Golick and Ringo.
Yeah, go.
They're literally like I'm literally just watching them talking to a microphone.
Oh, you don't like watching them? What about Dan Levitard?
I much rather.
thing.
I don't like Levitard. I would much rather listen, like in the car,
Yeah,
than
agreed.
to watch.
Than watch, yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to watch us,
No.
yeah, that's weird.
It's not going to happen.
Swipe,
no, it's not gonna
swipe left.
Swipe left.
Does that mean something to you? I don't
Is
know.
that good or bad? Swipe left is to get rid of something, right? I don't know.
So, a funny
Here we
quick
go.
anecdote. I think it was like 3 years ago or 2 years ago. I told Misty, I was like, hey, I don't understand all this swipe right, swipe left stuff, so I'm going to download Tinder. And she was like, do you understand?
Ridiculous. Okay, when was
I did not know.
3 years ago, when you had been married for 5+ years, like, do you think I should download Tinder? I remember this conversation.
I didn't know what.
Should I download Tinder and check it out? No, Sharuk, you should not ask your wife if you should download Tinder and check it out.
I did not know what it was. I still, even to this day right now.
You don't need to know. It's not for you.
Yeah, I know.
You don't need to know.
Anybody with a Tinder, if you have experience, I would love to talk to you because I do have questions. Like, does it go?
Sharuk could borrow your login information just for a few minutes.
No, does it go by proximity or does it go by?
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah,
Does it match you by like personality or by the things that you like, interests?
Because think about it, if it's just
Or
proximity,
is Tinder just a hookup thing or is it a dating thing?
I don't know. I don't even know what a hookup means. I'm an innocent boy. But like, if it's just a proximity thing, well, how does that appeal to the masses? Like, oh, I want to be with the closest person around. That's kind
if
of
it's a
weird.
hookup thing that is pertinent information.
Yeah.
You don't want to be driving like 2 hours just to hook up with somebody, right?
Well, damn. I mean, you got to work for something. Good Lord.
I don't know. I don't know these things.
So anyways, if you'd like to be on the show, hit us up at snmsportstalk@gmail.com. Yeah. All right. Well, guys, hey, thank y'all very much for sticking around with this. You probably didn't get a whole lot of sports news, but you will.
Someday soon.
Yeah.
Have a good week, everyone.
All right, guys. Take it easy. Watch sports.